Okay, y'all. So Governor Cooper has done his last deed as governor for North Carolina. He has commuted 15 death penalty sentences. Um, again, this is something that we have to talk about because Lord knows I've been fighting people in the comments, and people are really upset with Biden for the ones that he's done. And baby, we really need to talk about comprehension and reading and all the things because y'all, a commuted sentence for people who are on death row does not mean that the gates are going to open and we're going to let out murderers and all the things. That's not what happens. They become lifers. So basically they are taken off of death row and they are basically put as lifers. Like I said, they are life without the possibility of parole. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people's like, no, no, they need to be hit. Listen, I did research. It was a research project that we did back when I was, in undergrad, and then I picked up another part of it in my graduate studies. Y'all, it is absolutely far more expensive and far more extensive of resources to have someone on death row and then ultimately unalive them than it is for them to be a lifer in prison. Doesn't make sense on the outside of it, but when you start looking at the statistical data of all of it, and all it takes to keep these people alive, keep them housed, keep all the things, if done correctly, and not in so much of how these private prisons are run, yes, it is more cost effective for them to be lifers than for them to be on death row and ultimately unalived. But again, we had so many people, like I said, even fighting me in the comments, like, no, no, like Biden, was he Sleepy Joe? It was craziness. So definitely looking at Governor Cooper because he said, it took a lot of prayer. He said it took a lot of research and a lot of looking at reviewing case files of the people who, he chose to commute their sentences. There were two that he pardons of forgiveness for two drug convictions. These people have now been, of course, pillars of their community for a very long time. One of them has absolutely gone into law and helping in the rehabilitation efforts. And that's the thing, we do not have very many rehabilitation things. And that's what a lot of people really get confused when it comes to inmates and the process and how all this goes on. But, you know, thank you to Governor Cooper because, may we have not agreed with everything that he said or done, but he absolutely acts with the will of the people as he has joined Josh Stein in that last case with the Republicans trying to do that power grab. But for me personally, that man honored one of my dear friends who posthumously got the Longleaf Pine Award. And if you know, in North Carolina, that is like the highest award that a civilian can receive. Um, and it was done, unfortunately, after he passed. But it was an honor to be at his service and see that, happen for him because if you knew who Conan was, you knew that he absolutely deserved it. So, I absolutely thank Governor Cooper for all he's done and especially that because there was no one far more deserving than Conan, who, we'd hope one day be governor, but here we are. But y'all, North Carolina, stay on the swivel because there's a lot of laws that are going into play January 1st that a lot of people are not aware of, especially when it deals with insurance, of course, juvenile detentions, and all the things. So, y'all get ready.